starts. But let's analyze and hear out what the street is talking about this one. Mohit Modi, Director Equity Research at Crisil, joins us on the show, and we'll also be joined by VK Sharma from HDFC Securities in just minutes from now. But Mohit, just want to start with you. What is your recommendation on the issue and what's the rationale behind it?
Hi, Crisil Research has done the fundamental grading, IPO grading of Just Dial, and we have assigned the fundamental grade of 5 on 5, which suggests strong fundamentals. We have looked at the financial performance, the industry's attractiveness, management capability and corporate governance practices. And if you look at these parameters, if you look at the business model per se, there are 4 things which are required in this business model to be successful. I'm talking about the local search engine model. The number 1 is database, where Just Dial has a decent database of around 9 million entries. The second is distribution or reach, where they are able to garner paid campaigns out of this database. So they have given around 4x growth in 4 years. The third thing is, for a company like this, the third thing is search request. They have, which depends a lot on their marketing and brand building. They have been able to shore up numbers by 3x over last 4 years. And as of last FY, they had around 254 million search requests. And the fourth thing is technological platform. They've been able to migrate from a pure voice-only search to a mix of voice plus internet-based platform, which we incorporated in our grading. As a consequence of all of this, their financial performance has improved substantially in the last 4 years. It's a negative working capital and a debt-free business model. If you look at their revenue growth, around 39% CAGR in the last 4 years. If you look at their profitability, PAT has grown from around 2.4% points to 20% points. Which are the factors we have taken in our grading rationale.
Right. Let me also bring on board Mr. VK Sharma, Head of Business with the Private Broking and Wealth Management Division of HDFC Securities. VK, good morning. Thank you for joining us. As a house, what is your rating on Just Dial? A subscribe or avoid?
Good morning, Nikunj. I'm afraid I'm not able to comment on that, largely because we are connected to the issue. However, I can just say that this is a very new business, a very exciting business, and it will have all the advantage of a first mover. And more importantly, I think the internet business penetration in India is hardly 3.4% of the overall population. So, considering the fact that internet will, after this Reliance, I think once Reliance does its act on telecom, I think the penetration will improve drastically, and therefore the business of this company would also go up substantially going forward.
Mohit, this question is coming your way. What are your thoughts on the longevity of this business and global competition? As of now, Just Dial is operating and they're doing fine in a very niche segment. But if global players, they decide to venture into the same data category, will that be a challenge for them?
See, we also acknowledge that the biggest competition, I think, for Just Dial is from Google at this stage. And at the same time, the truth is that Google tried to get into the local search engine space in April 2008, but they were unable to achieve scale, and it requires a good amount of initial burn to achieve that scale. So they exited this space around December 2010. Future entry again into this space cannot be ruled out. What I believe is that there are 2 things which are going to be important for someone to be successful in this space. One is the ability to achieve scale and to gather operational metrics across the 4 parameters that I earlier talked about. That is where Just Dial seems to have done a very good job. And at the same time, it is important that the player who comes in here is able to make that kind of investment which Google is capable of because of their deep pockets. So a future entry by a global biggie can be a threat, but historically we have seen them not being able to gather the scale because of maybe their own reasons, and that we have considered in our grading.
VK, what is the right way to value a company like Just Dial? Because since there are no peer comparison, some of the retail investors are, I'm sure they're confused here.
Yeah, I think one of the ways to look forward is whether there is going to be any demand post the offer for sale. So I think a lot of mutual funds are already taking some kind of a position as anchor investors. So depending upon that, I don't think that all of them have got an ability to judge, to have got the shares to the extent that they desired. So I think the fact that there would be somewhat unsatiated appetite among the mutual fund fraternity and among the FIIs who are not at present in the scenario, I think the demand could come from them. So to that extent, the fact that it is something new, so I think even global benchmarks will not be operable, because if you were to look at global benchmarks, this doesn't really compare. So I think very, very difficult. So for an investor will have to take a call for himself. But definitely there is some, considering the long term, I think the possibilities are immense in terms of if the company manages its move right. I think it is a possibility to gather a lot of more market share by entering video and other things.
VK, Mohit, good to have you guys on board. Appreciate you analyzing Just Dial's IPO, but well, back to the market, staying put at that